Floyd was built to be the villain.
Legend versus legend. So, I mean, that speaks for itself.
It's like having a loyal girlfriend and ditching her for a hot one-night stand who ghosts you. You're left with nothing, and you go home with a hairy palm.
In boxing, what appears inside the ring tells only part of the truth. The rest unfolds beyond the ropes as a raw clash of talk, pride, and reputation. This unseen fight shapes careers and defines how fighters are remembered.
Terence Crawford didn't have the wide-eye look. In fact, when he stepped from behind the tunnel and came out, he seemed to come alive when he saw the crowd. He looked up and he saw those people, and even though it was a pro-Canelo crowd, it looked like it woke him up. And then when I saw Canelo, what I noticed about him was that brother looked a lot different tonight than he did yesterday in his face. He was full-faced. His body looked like he put the weight on. During that first round, I mean, the first 2-3 seconds, they touched gloves and Crawford flicked 2 jabs at Canelo and kind of stood his ground. And I said, okay, we're going to have a real fight tonight.
That's how Floyd is. He's very.
Do you think he's the great? You think he's the greatest? One of the greatest.
Every
ever,
great fighter in the world says technically there's nobody better.
Yeah.
Every single,
easily the best counterpuncher.
No, every great fighter in the world says there's nobody better. But when you're talking about wins,
right?
Not the best heavyweight champ is Mike Tyson. Right. I think, right? Like the scariest guy because his force is just so.
It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah,
but Logan having almost beat Floyd, that's got to put him in the top 3, greatest.
Not long ago, Oscar De La Hoya delivered a powerful statement that quickly spread and shook the whole boxing world.
Floyd was built to be the villain. Floyd was built with his opponents that we put in front of him, from Miguel Cotto to everybody. He was the villain. And in a movie, you need the hero and a villain. And Floyd was the perfect villain. Mm-hmm. People love to hate him. And guess what? He made a whole career about it, and he's one of the greatest.
Do you think people tune in to watch greatness or tune in to watch him lose?
A lot of people tuned in to watch him lose, but a lot of people also tuned in to watch greatness.
I know the purist like yourself, people that's been around the boxing game, the fight game for an extended period of time, they understand who he is.
Sure.
But do you think the casual, the layperson realize how great he is?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
What he said did more than restart an old rivalry. It pulled 2 of the most powerful fighters of this era into a heated public argument. The moment that set everything off came from a place no one expected. Terence "Bud" Crawford had just done something historic as he clearly defeated Canelo Alvarez and secured his status as the first male boxer to hold undisputed titles across 3 weight divisions.
It's wild because, if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference to people.
It marked a moment that defined his career and locked his name among the legends of the sport. Yet after the fight, it was Canelo, the defeated fighter, who delivered the most shocking line of the evening. That one statement changed everything. The boxing world reacted instantly as a long-running argument burst into full view and demanded attention from everyone. Fans and experts were pushed to choose sides. That was the moment Oscar De La Hoya decided to step forward.
Prime, who would have won, Crawford or Mayweather? Prime for prime.
Crawford.
Really? Why? Just
because Crawford is a unique kind of fighter that other fighters haven't seen. And the ability that he has to switch, fighters aren't used to that. They don't train for that. I just think Crawford is a very, very unique talent.
Having fought Mayweather himself, De La Hoya spoke with rare authority and used it to firmly reject Canelo claim. During an interview that spread rapidly online, he flatly denied the idea that Crawford could ever measure up to Money Mayweather.
I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, and, you know, or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically Mayweather's a better fighter.
The case was direct and hard to ignore, built on what he personally witnessed with Canelo. He pointed to the fight in 2013 when a prime Floyd Mayweather completely controlled a young Canelo from start to finish. De La Hoya said he disagreed and explained that Mayweather played with Canelo the entire fight and was barely touched even once. To him, the evidence was clear. He added that Mayweather stands well above Crawford not only because he beat De La Hoya himself, but because his skill and technique made him the more complete fighter.
Okay, well, we're gonna know in the least amount of fights. You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
However, De La Hoya praise for Mayweather is tied to a layered past. To understand it, we must go back to 2007 during the build-up to their massive showdown as the world watched. De La Hoya faced Floyd Mayweather in a fight that broke pay-per-view records and captured global attention. As the famous Golden Boy, he pushed Mayweather harder than almost anyone else and lost by a narrow and debated split decision. Because of that history, his praise today sparks an important question. Is he sharing an honest view or playing a calculated role? By presenting Mayweather as an unbeatable figure, De La Hoya also lifts his own story, since coming so close against a legend makes his effort look even greater. It is a clever way to remind fans of his own status while also cutting down the fighter who later took his place as the face of boxing. This was not just a breakdown of skill. It was the first move in a much bigger conflict. De La Hoya words were not only about Mayweather or Crawford. They were aimed straight at the foundation of Canelo Alvarez's entire legacy.
So it turns out I'm not the only one who thinks Canelo is an arrogant piece of shit. Turki Al-Sheikh recently revealed that Canelo refused to meet with him in person and isn't entertaining any deals to be done with him. Why? Because he's outpriced himself so much that the Saudis don't even want to deal with him. And it's all because he will do anything not to fight David Benavidez. Look, Turkey is trying to make the best fights that everybody wants to see. And Canelo continues to take the fights that nobody wants to see. Canelo, you're really making the wrong enemies. But you know what?
And then secondly, there's been some social media speculation, we'll say, about when this fight is going to take place. So when will it be?
Who's asking about the time and the place? Can you be specific?
Yeah, we saw Oscar De La Hoya trying to say that the fight was going to take place maybe in the daytime.
Yeah, this is what I want from you, to say his name. I decide with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick. And after that, we will go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. Oscar De La Hoya wastes my time with this question. Of course, this is in the peak. This is the boxing, the sport #1 in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
The tension between the promoter and his former star fighter has long been obvious to the boxing world, and De La Hoya used this moment to release years of built-up frustration.
God, it makes me horny.
Yeah, baby.
To tell you, I told you so.
I told you.
I predicted the Canelo Crawford fight like a goddamn fortune teller.
You're the Oracle?
Canelo's feet were cemented on the canvas as he was hitting air. What the fuck was that? Props to Crawford.
Thank you.
He came up 3 weight classes and fought a beautiful fight.
Good job.
What a great performance.
Did you get what you was looking for?
Like taking candy from a baby.
My candy!
Look, I promoted Canelo's entire career.
Put some fucking respect on it.
And it was a huge flop.
How do you like them apples?
The only real fighters he's faced were Mayweather, Bivol, and Crawford. And they all toyed with him. Even Mayweather knew Crawford was going to school him.
Thank you.
He put $50,000 on Crawford to win.
To grasp the intensity of their feud, you need to know about their breakup. De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions took a young Canelo and turned him into a worldwide superstar. 4 years they were a powerful team, but things fell apart, ending in a very public split and legal battles. Canelo believed he was being treated unfairly and fought to gain his independence.
Y para este imbécil intento de gente que tengo aquí a mi izquierda, que no se le olvide que yo ya vine siendo el Canelo a Estados Unidos y que solamente lucró con mi nombre. Nunca perdí un solo centavo, sino nomás ganó dinero. ¿Ya le pagaste a Golovkin lo que le quería robar? Sí, muy bien, porque sí, también, pero si no hubiera metido a mis abogados me lo robas. Es lo único que hace este hombre es ser una lacra del boxeo, robarle a los boxeadores. Para el que esté con él, meta por favor ahí a sus abogados porque seguramente les está robando. Es lo único que viene a hacer al boxeo.
You know who your daddy
Y a lo único que viene es a robarle la atención a Jaime Munguía. No viene a promoverlo. También le roba la atención a la gente que hace las cosas para la cocina. Ya no saben si hacerlas como consoladores o como cazuelas o algo. Porque acá se las mete el muchacho.
Yeah, I find it quite weird, really. Like, you know, on one hand, Oscar's sort of, his whole mantra right now is how happy he is, and, you know, look at me, guys. And there's obviously this thing with Canelo that just eats him up so much. I mean, the stuff with me eats him up, but this is on another level. And it's like this Clapback Thursday thing, which I think is actually quite amusing. Like, you've got that platform there. Why would you use it to just continuously talk about or try and discredit Canelo Alvarez, who's a fighter that left you 4 years ago? It's over. You know, on one hand, you're this happy-go-lucky guy, and then on the other hand, you've got like this toxicity eating away inside you that's making your blood boil. Just let it go. Like, talk about his fighters, you know, Zurdo Ramirez, Zepeda, Munguia, and Munguia's left him. But like the other guys he looks after as well. So like, I don't know. I find it a bit weird, really.
De La Hoya viewed it as a betrayal by a fighter he had poured everything into. So when he calls Canelo's career overrated, it isn't just a promoter speaking. It's a man hurt and angry aiming to dismantle the empire he once helped create.
I don't expect anything less than that with that kind of person. He's an because he's mad because I leave Golden Boy. I'm the diamond in Golden Boy. Golden Boy is not the same without me. That's why he's angry. I have the proofs. I put my lawyers in, and he tried to steal money. I have proofs. I don't want to do anything against that kind of guys. I don't want that vibes. I don't really give a shit about Oscar. But if he says something here in my territory, I need to say something, right?
Canelo, I just saw another video where you're still talking shit. All you say is fuck him, fuck that. Oh, he stole from me. Well, obviously, aside from defaming me, why do you look inside your own circle? Because I know for a fact that people are stealing from you. By the way, you lined my pockets. You made Munguia a shitload of money, all because you're afraid of David Benavidez. Fuck you.
His personal history added fuel to the fire, turning a simple boxing discussion into a bitter revenge mission. De La Hoya went online with a harsh critique, saying he had promoted Canelo's whole career and it was largely overrated. He pushed further by claiming the only real opponents Canelo faced were Mayweather, Bivol, and Crawford, and that they all dominated him. It was De La Hoya's "I told you so" moment, a very public celebration of Canelo's losses that carried a strong personal sting.
Terence replied to your tweet. He said he disagreed with what you said, but then you also responded to him.
Respectfully, I've been a fighter, and I've gone in my own way when it comes to negotiating a fight, because I have an ego, especially when I'm a fighter. So when I'm a fighter and I'm sitting down on a table with my potential opponent in front of me and with the people that I delegate that are smart, that are business people, it just does not work because there's too many egos in the table. When I started doing that and becoming a businessman before I was a fighter, guess what? My focus was on business instead of the fight, and I started losing. Your window is so short. There's a window of opportunity. Take advantage of it as a fighter.
And just when it seemed the drama was limited to boxing, De La Hoya expanded his attack, setting his sights on UFC President Dana White. In the same intense rant, he went after White, accusing him of caring more about money than the health and safety of his fighters.
We were part of the whole, we were actually, I was part of the whole,
we're talking top bracket.
The whole movement, with the Muhammad Ali Act and all that. And it's in place for a reason. I'm telling you right now, if they change the Muhammad Ali Act, every fighter out there, every manager is going to have problems. Is going to be in trouble because you're not going to be able to negotiate. You're not going to be able to negotiate purses or this and that. You fight for what they pay you. That's not a way to do it. That's not a way to do it. You have to. It's a free negotiation. You have managers for a reason. You have the fighters who should be making the bulks of the money. We put our lives on the line. We go up in the ring. Fighters die. For what? To get 10%? That's bullshit.
He criticized White for his controversial position on the Muhammad Ali Act, a federal law meant to protect boxers, and implied that White wanted to change it so that TKO, the UFC's parent company, could take control of fighters. De La Hoya also claimed that White arrived late to the Crawford-Canelo fight and was allegedly watching a UFC event on his phone during the undercard.
As far as the undercard, Jesus Christmas, I feel bad for Turkey, wasting all that money. You have to fire your matchmakers, Turkey. It was the biggest fight of the decade, and your matchmakers, not you, your matchmakers.
Who are those guys?
Put on that undercard? You paid all that money and had the biggest stage in boxing on Netflix, and that is really the best they could do? Didn't even try. If I was matchmaking, I would have put Shiraz versus Benavidez as a co-main event, with the winner fighting the winner of Canelo Crawford next. Thank you. That's how you promote. That's how you matchmake. Dana White didn't have his best week. His t-shirt shrank smaller every minute, especially when he was questioned about his attempt to amend the Muhammad Ali Act. So you're saying this reporter is an asshole because he's asking you a legitimate question? That's because the Muhammad Ali Act protects fighters, and TKO needs it to change so they can fuck fighters over. Sorry, Uncle Fester. You can't muzzle the boxing media like you do in the UFC.
That's all right.
And after this debacle, he decided to skip the undercard and shows up in the beginning of the main event where he's just watching the UFC on his phone the entire time. I wonder if he regrets abandoning the UFC for a sport that doesn't want him.
As De La Hoya's words spread online, the other side of the debate started to respond, and that's where the full magnitude of Crawford's achievement becomes clear. Crawford, a natural welterweight, moved up 2 weight classes from 147 pounds to 168 to face a naturally bigger and stronger Canelo. This was a huge risk that very few fighters would attempt, and it adds important context that De La Hoya chooses to overlook.
I'm not interested in to be a friend with him. I'm good where I am, and I have nothing to with him, and I wish all the best for him, and that's it. But I don't want him in my life. I don't want him near from me, close to me. I don't want that kind of vibes on my life.
Faced a younger, less experienced Canelo at a catch weight of 152 pounds, carefully controlling the risk.
Floyd versus Triple G. Listen, man. Floyd didn't fight him, and Floyd is an all-time great. But what a missed opportunity. You got Crawford going from 135 and talking about fighting Canelo at 168. It's kind of the same thing, except for Floyd fought a few times at 154. I'm not faulting Floyd for not fighting Triple G. I totally get it. I'm just saying that upper echelon, the reason why I will always have Sugar Ray Leonard over Floyd is the crazy, the insane part of it. What Terence Crawford is talking about doing, he ain't saying, let me meet Canelo at a catch weight. Canelo's undisputed there. Let me go get him.
Crawford stepped into Canelo's natural weight class and dominated him. This alone makes a strong case for Crawford, showing his win required exceptional courage and skill. His team refused to let that point go unnoticed. Trainer Brian Bowman McIntyre, wearing a hat with the word GOAT, boldly told reporters that Crawford's willingness to fight anyone anywhere at any weight puts him above Mayweather's careful strategy. Crawford himself stayed diplomatic, saying Floyd was the greatest of his era and he is the greatest of his own. Meanwhile, analysts like Stephen A. Smith weighed in, comparing Floyd's defensive genius with Crawford's toughness and adaptability under pressure. To fully understand the debate, you need to look at the science of their styles. It's a clash of two very different boxing philosophies.
I mean, you fought Floyd Mayweather at what? Were you 23?
23.
That's so fucking young.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him, because, you know, if you beat him, you want to be the best in the world at 23.
What do you think was so impressive about him?
His experience, he's so smart. He have everything in a fighter, a complete fighter. He don't have power in the punches, but when you that kind of fighter, you don't need it.
Do you think that was the toughest fight you faced?
No.
What do you think?
I think it's tough fights and difficult fights. That was a difficult fight.
Floyd Mayweather was like a ghost, a defensive master who honed the Philly shell and shoulder roll to make himself nearly untouchable. His style focused on managing risk-precise counter-punching and an unmatched ring intelligence. He excelled at making opponents miss and punishing every opening.
Floyd was in his prime. That would have been fucking incredible to see which style superior. Because Floyd would move towards you like this. He would just get right up on you. It would just show you how good Floyd really is. Because the fact that he's won decisions by, you know, playing it safe, people that just don't get excited about him and they recognize him with the all-time greats. He's the best.
And still, they call me Money Mayweather at All-Star Game, man. I don't take no L's, you know what I'm saying, baby? Money Mayweather at the All-Star Game. Nah, man, I was gonna get fun.
Terence Crawford, on the other hand, is a hunter. A skilled switch hitter, he can fight from both orthodox and southpaw stances, creating tricky angles and wearing down opponents step by step. He doesn't just outbox you, he breaks you mentally and physically, always seeking the finish. The question then becomes, which prevails, the unbreakable defense or the relentless attack? Beneath the public argument, a quieter, more troubling debate was taking shape. Many fans and experts believed the official scorecards for the Crawford-Canelo fight were suspiciously close.
Floyd Mayweather used to have these crazy workouts and he would crack open a Pepsi.
Give me some soda.
People are like, he's crazy. But no, he's not. He's smart. That guy did it the right way. Never drank, never partied, would run home from the club at 2 o'clock in the morning.
He was built different.
Boxing legend Andre Ward raised a long-standing concern in the sport, the fear of Las Vegas bias. He suggested judges often favor the fighter who can generate the most money to secure big rematches. This idea of an unseen influence added a hint of conspiracy to the event. Still, despite the judging controversy, the fight was a massive commercial hit, drawing 41.4 million viewers on Netflix and generating $47 million at the gate, showing that in modern combat sports, drama sells as much as skill. In the end, Oscar De La Hoya's blunt outburst did more than settle old scores. It exposed the complicated world of professional fighting, where personal grudges, financial stakes, and debates over legacy constantly collide. His firm belief in Mayweather's superiority, along with his harsh attacks on Canelo and Dana White, forced people to rethink what true greatness means. Terence Crawford's historic ring performance sparked a storm of debate outside the ropes, blurring the line between sport and entertainment. As things calm, questions remain. Who really defines a fighter's legacy, the fans, the experts, or the powerful figures who shape the story? In the midst of rivalries, can pure athletic greatness ever stand on its own?
Yeah. Canelo, I may be the only one. I thought you won the fight. I scored it for you.
You know, we need to accept it. We need to accept it. No matter what, in the scorecard, we lost it.
That's a wrap for today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss our future uploads. Share your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned. We'll see you in the next one.